It's the final game ever in Oakland. You think maybe they might be emotional for that game? You think that might be an emotional game? The last stand for the black hole. The last stand for the proudest, most intimidating fans in the NFL. They love their team. They love their team, and they love their town, and they were going to make sure the entire damn world knew it. If you are at all associated with the Raiders yesterday, if you have ever worn the silver and black, or painted your face, or worn spiked shoulder pads to a game, you want to close out that game and that time in Oakland the right way, on a memorable note. You want to give everybody something they would never, ever forget. And they sure as hell did. Not a good note, mind you, but an unforgettable note. The Raiders started that game with a 7-play, 75-yard drive. Raiders 7, Jags nothing. Then Josh Lambo had a field goal to make it 7-3. Of course he did. He was on the show this week. But Oakland got one of their own, 10-3, before the end of the first quarter. They had two more in the second quarter, and they make it 16-3 at halftime. Midway through the third quarter, the Raiders had 19 first downs. The Jags had 2. The Raiders were dominating. Jacksonville had not been playing that well when they arrived. Then they were getting their asses handed to them by the Raiders and their fans. The rout was on. Oakland was going out the way they deserved to go out. The Raiders and Raider fans were going to party, and they were going to party hard. And what do you need for the ultimate rager? Lasers. And Raider fan had them. Had a lot of them. Had so many of them. And they were pointing them at the field so much that the ref literally had to jump in, rip the mic, and with less than 12 minutes to go in the fourth, tell them to knock it off. How pissed, how exasperated is that ref? Like, he can't even believe that he's saying that. Like a parent who's sick and tired of his kids acting up. Man, I'll turn this car around. If you don't stop aiming lasers at the field, I will cancel this game.
Hit the crap.
Get. And if you think I'm kidding, try me. Try me. I will turn this stadium around so fast. Get.
Hit the crap.
Get. I love how he runs down the list of places also to not aim the laser. Do not aim a laser at the field. Do not aim your laser at the coaches. Do not aim lasers at the players. Like he's talking to a kid. Again, would say, well, you didn't tell me not to aim it at the coaches. You said don't aim it at the players. Yeah, how about you, Raider fan? How about Raider fan running down their checklist before the game? You know, before you leave the house. You know it's going to be a long day at the stadium. You want to make sure you don't forget anything. Do you make your mental checklist and make sure you have everything on you? Wallet, check. Phone, check. Spiked shoulder pads, checked. Fifth of Jack, check. Laser, oh, hell yes, check. So the Jags had made it 16-6 in the third. And then, with just over 5 minutes left in the game, they did this. 16-13 at that point. And now the panic is setting in a bit. And so is the rage. With just over 2 minutes to go, Raider fans broke out a bull bleep chant at the refs. And that was not the only thing raining down from the stands. More was about to come. But before that, the question was, could the Raiders really choke this game away? Could they choke away their last game ever in Oakland? And the answer is yes. Jacksonville 20, Oakland 16. Defeat snatched from the jaws of victory with less than a minute to go in the Raiders' time. And not just their time in Oakland, but their time in California. And Raider fan was not happy. Raider fan was raging. But the Raiders did have one last chance. They didn't just lose in their final game. They came from ahead to choke. Big difference. There you have it. One last kick in the junk for Raider fan. Not only are you losing your team, but you lost the final game, and you did it in the worst way possible by having a big lead and choking it away. And if I know anything about you, Raider fan, I know for a damn fact you're not having it. And you didn't. When that final pass bounced away, all hell broke loose. Remember the lasers and the bull bleep chants coming from the stands? That was child's play because there was nacho cheese. I repeat, nacho cheese. According to one report, it was a helmet full of nacho cheese. Meanwhile, Shayna Rubin from the Mercury News tweeted, Coliseum, brutal scene, nachos thrown on the field. The fans are booing. She followed that up with a pic of the end zone, and you can make out spilled nacho cheese on the silver and black grass. Raider fan went next level with it. Raider fan was weaponizing their nachos. And no, I don't know whether or not Chunk Gruden made a beeline for the free cheese. We could play the Name That Sound game. Most of you would say, yeah, Rome, that's like a 747 taking off, right? No, that was not the sound of a jet taking off. That's the sound of the black hole responding when Raider players came over to salute them. Raider players like Derek Carr and others went over to pay tribute to the black hole, and the black hole paid tribute right back by booing the living hell out of them. Their own guys. They're coming over to say, thank you, I love you, and they're booing them like they want to fight them. So far, the list of things coming from the stands includes lasers, bull bleep chants, and a helmet full of nacho cheese and booze. And now it's about to get worse because you can add to that list fans. You know what else ended up on the field? Fans. Lots of fans reportedly ran onto the field and had to be detained by security. So it goes without saying, it's never okay to use lasers, throw trash, and perfectly good helmets full of nacho cheese. And also not good to run onto the field. Totally out of line. Totally trashed. Totally inappropriate. But I know Raider haters are going to love seeing that. They're going to see those pictures of Raider fans being led off the field by security, walking through trash and around the nacho cheese, and Chunk scraping the cheese off the grass and putting it back onto his chips. And they're going to say, hey, Rome, why aren't you bumping Autumn Wind under that? I'll tell you why, losers. Because I'm not here to celebrate it. That was a horrible end to a great run in Oakland. And no, I'm not going to say that that was the most Raider way to close out time in Oakland, nor am I going to say that blowing a lead, having fans break out their lasers and their cheese, and then jumping onto the field was the most fitting Raider ending ever. But I will say this, to end this monster block and this monster take. Don't even bother trying to replicate that in Vegas, because you can't. You can't duplicate it. Don't even try.